afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and everything and amazing Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master of propaganda. We're off here till 1 vs 1 on Bayeux. Was it? Yeah, it's Bayeux. Here with me, your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master of propaganda, the only safe and source of comedy to entertainment, the only beacon in these dark times. In the north, it is Tiramisu fighting for the Oberkommando West, Germany, Deutschland. Taking on the role here of the 1st SS Panzerschaft to the south, it is Expensive Runner, fighting for the Soviet Union, Socialism, Comrade Stalin, and the 3rd Mechanized Corps. We got Special Operations, Luftwaffe, and Scavenge with double infantry medical supplies versus Defensive, Urban Defense, and Airborne Troops with infantry and mine bulletins. A special command here from Expensive Runner. Bit of a rarer sight nowadays, to be honest. Conscript builds have been becoming very popular, but they're definitely some trying to head back to the old ways there. And as always, please remember to like, subscribe, and share. It would help me out a lot. And of course, get the video out to more people in general, which certainly sometimes is something that can be a bit of a struggle. The way YouTube shifts its algorithms about, so anything you can do there would make me very happy. Also, big thanks to my Patreon supporters, without which this episode and so many others would not be possible. So big thanks to you and to all those who donate. Links in the description. You can also do the same or pledge on Patreon. We got here Domineers with the Pune Troops there for Expensive Runner. We got Defensive Tactics, but a rare one there with line to tank guns, hay mortars, advanced fortifications, Dishka machine guns, and the anti-tank overwatch ability. In the west, engineers going up. We got Sturm Punch for the western field point there, and we got Volkswagen Center and East here for Tiramisu. Sandbags going up there, very good work there. With the 3rd one on the way there for Tiramisu. I imagine here Expensive Runner's going to go for more Penal Troopers and probably a scout car, since that's primarily one of the reasons why you want to go for Special Command against the Oberkommando West. Scout car, since the Oberkommando West in the early game has very few immediate good counters to them. We'll of course have to see what Expensive Runners there. We got Penal coming up, they're backed up with the engineers. West side here, the engineers going westwards, could threaten the fuel point there. As we can see, the Tiramisu moving towards San Diego. First engagement here by the 2-minute mark. Penal troops opening up. The SVT-40 snapping off shots against the Volksgrenadiers. Quickly falling back towards some shrubbery there. East side, they almost got the munitions point secured. Of course, more sandbags. Sturm has up here. There go. Penal need to fall back. Those getting focused down. Expensive Runner is quick to get back there and out of the line of fire of these two infantry squads. Second Penal squad arriving here for Expensive Runner, falling back towards heavy cover. Engineers holding to fall back, and there go. A big search here from Tiramisu, getting 4 infantry squads into the same area. This is going to be tough for Expensive Runner to deal with. He is going for the scout cover right now. I think the best move is basically going to be for him to disperse, or hope he can get off a satchel charge. Tiramisu is basically too slow to react to it with all those troops bunched up like this. He retreats here. Again, he could have tried with the satchel charge there, when players bunch up all the units like that. They too tend to struggle a bit with unit preservation, so satchel charge could have worked out there for Expensive Runner. He's trying to move into the defend eastern fuel point, he's moving towards westward. Scout car almost down there with a 4th Volksgrenadier squad there on the way for Tiramisu. Penal troops as the Volksgrenadiers there we go. M31 out. Engineers getting ready. Flamethrowers on the way there. That's going to be a real headache there for Tiramisu, though. Oh dear. They aren't fully reinforced. Ah, shit, he isn't realizing it, I think. He's not realizing it. He needs to cancel the reinforcement to get the flamethrower up. Sandbags up in the eastern field point. Charging in. But yeah, I don't think he's realized, again, he hasn't got it fully reinforced and thusly isn't getting access to the flamethrower anytime soon. Still, he does force a retreat there, but the flamethrower, there we go, he realizes now. Can, of course, maybe even get a wipe there if he had it ready. Going straight from the next Volksgrenadier squad, there we got Tiramisu with a truck on the way. Hard to see what he's planning here. We got the M31 charging ahead here for the Red Army. And the west side here, we get a skirmish on the western fuel point. Engineers being engaged by the Volksgrenadiers. He could probably charge in the scout car to the west here, assist the engineers, push back the Volksgrenadiers, and then gain the fuel point properly. Then we got troops moving in here from Tiramisu and the German Army, the 1st SS. Also known as the Leibstandarte, which was basically a bodyguard unit for Hitler initially, though it will later become a combat unit. Fun fact, most of the Führer's bodyguard units will later on in the war become combat units. Bit of an interesting development there, but it was reasonably common. Mines on here from Expensive Runner here by the western field point. Very good. They got the east one back, so they're going to give him a bit of a lead here. More Penals on the way there for Expensive Runner. I imagine you'll be seeing some discus eventually here. There's all this infantry, and of course you can always go for like anti-tank and to help counter infantry. Infantry, what the devil I'm talking about? Tanks or light vehicles here from Tiramisu. We do get the mechanized regiment on the way there. So we're probably seeing a Lux, possibly a Puma as well here. Sturm pushing ready with mines, was obviously concerned about expense runner laying down mines. Or demo charges, obviously. Not quite as common, but a well-placed demo charge can, of course, be quite nasty. If, say, it's set around a corner, then your troops around the corner, boom, demo charge goes off, and you suddenly shot a couple of infantry squads. So that's certainly something that can happen. It could also be a reason you might want to have the mines through ready. Perhaps. We'll have to see, of course. Moving west with their mines spotted by the western fuel point. All the way, expense runner is getting a fuel lead here on Tiramisu. And while he does have the mechanized red wind up, he's not really getting anything out of it right away. So this is great for expense runners pushing up eastwards here. A map, by the way, like Bayeux, is certainly a map that requires a good understanding of maneuver and sort of field control, since otherwise you can quickly fall back. But if you sort of know how to maneuver around your opponent, Bayeux can be a quite solid map. Though that said, Bayeux does have a few flaws, in particular with elevation, which, as you might notice here, when you sort of look at it like this, there's a big slope there, which can interfere with shots. When you look at it here, it's like, it looks pretty flat, doesn't it? So, shall we say, one of the downsides of Bayeux, particularly this area here, can actually be very difficult to fight in, depending on the situation, because again, you can't see what's catching up your shots there. But again, there's a rather bigly slope for Kamli 2 that is there. So keep that one in mind. Not quite sort of pertinent for other parts of the map, it's just that part of the map where there's just this particular large slope. So worth keeping in mind there when fighting on Bayeux. Oh wait, good maneuvering still here from Expense Runner. We got the tank command gun as well, very good. We got Luftwaffe ground force here for Tiramisu, also a strong doctrine certainly. And certainly also I think one that might favour the fighting here again, the more mobile, faster one. We have to be like quick on your feet and about aggressive momentum. Certainly have a few abilities to support that. Plus of course the Fallschirmjägers can also be quite nice there. Infantry in here, Flamethrower Engineers ready, but this time the Panzerfaust out of hand and the Infantry one will not escape unscathed from those. We got the looks on the way there for Tiramisu and the German army. Infantry one falling back, Pims one falling back as well there. T-70 though is not going to be far off from Expensive Runner and the Red Army. West side here we got the Fulton Rapid laying down sandbags. Good work there. Lots of barbed wire laid down here to deny any possible cover, I think. They'll obviously can just lay down sandbags behind the barbed wire and, you know, problem solved. Teams moving up here to assist. We got a big push here from Tiramisu and the German army here. Infantry one, they're falling back. Fallschirmjägers can be summoned forth here by Tiramisu and the German army. The Fallschirmjäger, and there we go. Summoned forth here from a nearby Fallschirmjäger division. There were numerous of them. Though as the war went on, there were increasingly more and more Fallschirmjäger divisions raised, and a lot of them were, of the new ones, were not exactly of high quality. In fact, they could basically consider them the level of Volksgrenadiers in most cases. By the way, Fallschirmjägers scored out here of the more elite quality. Looks almost on there for Tiramisu. Expense Runner does not follow from the T-70, though of course he could be bold and go for the H-6M instead. There you go, looks out. He can go for the T-70 any moment now. He needs to move westwards there towards the victory point. We got all the victory point control here of Tiramisu at the moment. We get the discount here for Tiramisu, or Expense Runner, I mean, just as T-70 as well. But that means for the brief while though, he is going to be exposed here to the Lux, which is arriving there. So we'll have to see how Expense Runner handles that one. Oh dear, that's a bit of a mistake there. That M31 is not going to make it back home to Moscow unless he gets apparently very lucky, it seems. Never mind. I'm just surprised he didn't get Panzerfausted, but it certainly is possible to me to just figured it wasn't worth a Panzerfaust at all at this point. And certainly in that regard, he would be very correct, as he quickly just punches his fish and holding it to light it on fire. So right now, he spends on those quickly moves to the map here, and can of course push back at Tiramisu with the arrival of the T-70 light tank. Now speeding out here from his base, Diska hanging up out here as well. He might of course feel like he probably wanted at this point to go for an anti-tank gun instead. But there you go, going for the looks. Shots missing though. Successfully gets a hit there with the T-70 pushing it back. West side would be a good, I think, direction that Expense trying to push into right now. I mean, Tiramisu is setting himself around, well, the center and the east. So a push westwards here up to the western fuel point there could be, I think, an easy way to just gain ground easily here for Expense Runner versus Tiramisu. Puma on the way there, the 234-2. Definitely a problem here for the T-70 light tank, and will, I think, require here Expense Runner to go for some anti-tank guns or get up assault guns to counter. Folks getting snapped here by the T-70 light tank. Finally some movement in the west here with the engineers. Back here, troops reinforcing healing, and we got sort of slight movement here in the center. penal troops equipped there with the PTRS-41 anti-tank rifle. The PTRS-41, by the way, was an semi-automatic anti-tank rifle, compared with the PTR-D, which was a bolt-action anti-tank rifle. Quick hit there on the looks as a rear armor from the T-70, very good. Penal troops moving out. Got moved here. Ooh, that looks like going to have a bit of a rough time there. Going to tank flank with his well-footed expense runner. Puma quickly pushed back. He is going for a rather spread out approach here versus Tiramisu at the moment. West side looks takes advantage of this, going for the isolated near squad, who has absolutely no way to defend themselves against the Panzer II there. Model L. Got Pims with the folks in the center, quickly dropping Jörg in there. The others forced to keep fighting him with no cover, though the Pims in the longer run cannot maintain position out in the open. Got the Puma up as well there, making hard for the chief support. We got the Disca there, but it's not quite within range either. Anti-tank is being knocked here, but the situation for Expense Run in the center is a bit awkward here, and he's routed by Tiramisu on the west side, of course. Not much happening. They got Luxman with engineers. Rough engagement here for Expense Run, forced to break off as Tiramisu keeps up the pressure. He's also taking up here, likely. Going to go there for the Schwerer Panzerhauptquartier. Anti-tank gun is all the way over there. But there goes some good hits on the Puma. Pops Motor and disengages. Very good. Half health there on the 234 armored car. Also known as the Achtrad, because it had 8 wheels. Little fun fact there. Well, generally the armoured cars with the 8 wheels were known as Achtrads. There were numerous versions. Also a predecessor to the 234 that was known as the 231 or was the 232, I can't remember. Didn't have the 50mm gun version, but it did have roughly the 2cm gun version and one with a 75mm cannon as well. Fortunately being hosted at the end of the retreat by the Pims from the Disca here, machine gun taking a lot of damage, but not quite getting wiped out. And saying they're moving up, firing at the Fallschirmjäger, so quick to hide out though. And then disengage, probably the best move there for Tiramisu. Truck moving out, heading westwards. That's going to be a Schwer Panzerkorps, I think, to cover up the fuel point there, make it harder for Expense Runner to get his socialist pulls on. Another Disca here for Expense Runner, going to look to put more pressure on the infantry and hopefully win the war against the fascists that way. Something is sealed. He could consider Sassel charge here, but I think they're just going to hope for the Disca to suppress them, move in and finish them off, or hope for them to retreat. We got 500 to 332. Expense on definitely to get work on those victory points and a bit on the map. He's definitely, I think, getting a bit more static, and obviously part of the problem for him, of course, is the looks, and the Puma can't easily just get aggressive with those runs. There's at least not until he gets straight to the looks, in which case he can get more active, I think, here versus Tiramisu. Until then, he has to play a bit more focused. Now he needs to bring up a lot more light vehicles to try and change the fight around Tiramisu that way. Schwer Panzer goes up here, though not covering the fuel point, though it is covering the carve point. Ground the center here, breaking Tiramisu center. Moving up the right flank, straight to the Disca, taking some light damage from it. T-70 being with the strength of the flank. A lot of action. We got the Lukes dealing with the penal troops here. Need to get the T-70 to deal with that. In theory, some anti-tank weaponry to help deal with it further. MG-34 there for Tiramisu, realizing that he too needs machine guns here versus the Bolshevik swine. Otherwise, he's going to struggle there, certainly with Tiramisu's infantry as well. Anti-tank and creeping hit there, guarding it ambushed up. And there you go. Puma's going to move straight to line of fire of it. Good hit, down to less than half health, and pushed away. In this case, they didn't need to pop smoke due to the terrain there, favouring a swift retreat. And there you go, nice bit of harassment there. Tiramisu using the terrain to outmaneuver Expense Runner's right flank, force him direct here to the eastern fuel being harassed. West side is seeing no action again here from Expense Runner. I do think he might want to consider a second anti-tank gun rather than the second Disca here. Healing reinforcement here for Expense Runner. Definitely needs to take up himself soon, or he needs to bring up something like H&6M. What he definitely shouldn't be doing, I think, is dithering around for too long without a clear plan of action versus his opponent. Falcons advancing on the center victory point. Falcon on the east side, under fire from the Disca here machine gun. Eastern victory point being seized. Looks setting out there for Tiramisu and the German army. Deutschland. And there you go. Looks T70 getting eventually 2 there. Puma moving up again and staying the ready once more as well. Good shot on the Puma. And going for the eastern fuel point again. Tiramisu certainly is unrelenting in that department. Looks moving up here, getting in a few pot shots of the disc and machine gun and taking what to do with that. T's moving up here. Expanse runner is just sort of like a bit of a holding pattern. I think he needs to consider like switching up his tactics more aggressively here versus Tiramisu needs to do something a bit more unexpected that Tiramisu can't react to as easily. But I'm not going to say that's not easier said than done. There goes Soundtrack and MD-34, though dodged. He might still suffer, I guess, some light casualties. T-70 went down. Great move there by Tiramisu, making use of the train to get up behind here. Using again the hedges and the fact they sort of open up some pumps there to like sneak up behind the T-70 and get a few pop shots in there. And take advantage of expense run of just also focusing so much here. Again, basically had a mental blind spot. So good play there by Tiramisu. Definitely a stinging blow, though he does get rid of the looks. And that is actually beneficial for expense running, since now there's less to contain his infantry, can begin pushing more aggressive westward, since the Puma, while certainly not bad as infantry, isn't particularly amazing either, so it does ultimately give expense runner more freedom movement. Meanwhile, got the mechanized armor company up there. Tiramisu's got his strap 100 quarters up. He's not quite there in terms of fuel. In fact, expense runner's likely to be able to get tanks out ahead of his opponent. Of course, the Puma is actually pretty good as the T-34-76 as well, though technically in the actual war, it wasn't, since it had the same gun as the Panzer III. And it turned out they stopped doing the Panzer III because it wasn't very good as the T-34-76. So, you know, small details there. Obviously, in this case, the Puma's gun is, I would say, slightly overrepresented in terms of like capability compared to what it was actually in the war. Smoke screen down here to cut up the attack against the machine gun, the center victory point. Thumbs up there to Tiramisu, got use of this pan-sectation ability, the smoke screen ability. It's one of the ways you can actually use it. It's typically not one though that is commonly used. Puma shoots, doesn't quite hit. Falcon's flanking in there with FT-42s, fully upgraded of course. Retreat there. I think could have turned the machine gun on to deal with it, but I'm guessing Expense has figured that wasn't worth it. Moving up the west side finally, very good as well. But the situation is certainly under pressure here from Tiramisu, who is just pummeling away. But there you go. T-34-76 on the way for Expense Runner and the Red Army. Teams being routed here by the mighty Fallschirmjäger. 9 goes off, blowing apart Ludwig and Helmut. Puma there, close to actually 2 back hits, reinforcing healing. T-34-76 is almost done. It's quite almost ready. Nothing further going on here. Back here, healing reinforcement, men being patched up. And the occasionally being handed a lollipop. We got Puma in to deal with engineers. Mine down here on the sandbags. Very good. Slows down the bleeding a bit there. But Tiramisu is still in a great position in terms of victory points. East side here. Puma's being engaged with the Volksgrenadiers. T-34-76 out here. And Expanse Runner's major counterattack should be beginning soon. At least it has to begin soon. Engineers being dealt with here by the Puma. Close to Vetchny 2. Again, not super great at it. But obviously still not something you can entirely ignore. But does allow him to grab the western point a bit. Pushing eastwards here, those folks I think I'm in for a rude awakening once the T-34-76 hits. Another heavy machine gun here from Expensive Runner. That's definitely not machine gun. Meanwhile here, Tiramisu, you can see there's actually preparing position in the center. Several sandbags being lined up, one at the point itself, but also one a bit behind for the machine gun. Good work there, thumbs up. Certainly something actually people tend to neglect. They tend to, like, a lot of the time they sandbags right next to a point. But Denver consider, you know, just laying sandbags around a point. They really want to defend it, preparing over deeper, more in-depth defenses. So thumbs up here. And Tibbet's opponent likes to attack with machine guns. Having lots of sandbag positions can be very good to make it more easy to defend when there's not really a lot of heavy cover around here. So good work there by Tiramisu. Thumbs up. Grab the Eastern victory point. Got the Eastern fuel point back. Tiramisu's not far off from a Panzer IV. Expense Runner's going to be a bit more than go for another T-34-76, but he's technically not far off either. Shadowing the sandbags, T-34 on the flank. Puma hanging back here, close to Vetchny 2. T-34 way up, shoots and misses. Puma gets off a shot there to tank and try and creep ahead, then snipe the Puma maybe a bit. Still feel like he needs to see more action on the left side here from Expense Runner. T-34 moving up, shoots and misses the full screen of these on the east side here. We got mines down here from Expense Runner. Very good, very good. Pumes was pinned down to the ground, screaming for aid, assistance, any sort of relief. And there you go, Tiramisu with the Panther 4. Model Gate, disc opening up here in the field. Fallschirmjägers focusing up as well, Dalton chopper from the Hay machine gun. This unleashes another torrent of lead into the German troops, frantically scrambling to get in a defensive position on the way, but it's just not enough. Focus on the fire being suppressed. Disc on the east side as well here with engineers. Mines laid down by decent victory point, very good. Over here we got mines cleared out as well with the Sturmpanzers, very good there by Tiramisu. Fallschirmjäger, Pumes was routing up the Fallschirmjägers. The Fallschirmjägers having a nice time here though. Panther 4 almost done. Expense Runner's not far off from another one, of course he may consider the H-35 here or the H-16M. Disc defending the eastern victory point, good there. He's got his opponent down by 2 victory points, but obviously still got a long way to go here versus Tiramisu. Tiramisu, by the way, I think could consider more attacks for him trying to flank around Expense Runner. I mean, he's definitely shown some skill for that in the east, but the west side seems to just be overlooked a lot by both sides, which I think is a bit something that could be worked on. Something that could be worked on, I think. Got a Hay mortar. Now that's not a bad idea at all there by Expense Runner. So Martello could provide him some crucial tools here versus Tiramisu. Smoke screens, but also just, you know, blasting Tiramisu out of his hiding holes. Very good. Entertainment spotted, routed. He's up, Panther 4 hits a mine, but Expense Runner sadly doesn't quite even like sufficient tools, I think, to destroy the Panther 4. This would be a great maneuver to sort of push in and take it out. But again, right now he just doesn't have it. He's going to instead take advantage of it by pushing them for the center while the Panther 4 is not going to join in there. He's still going to need anti-tank support here as the Puma or some additional armor. He can actually soon go for another T-34-76. And 2 T-34-76s may be too much for the Puma to handle. There you go, quick hit from the anti-tank gun there. Second one goes through as well, leaving the Puma a bit more dinged up. Discourse the full screen of these. Hay mortar begin to bombard there. Machine gun falling back, Pumas moving up, fighting up from another defensive position, very good. T-34 moving up here to support the Puma troopers. Hay mortar rounds and bomb grenades going off, the sandbags shatter, collapse. As the very fabric is torn apart and sand is just all over the place. More here, mortar fire together, discourse the film streamers in the centre and the east side here. Victory point reclaimed once more with the German army. Healing reinforcement. Very close to another T-34-76. Davis go for it, but the Hay mortar being repositioned a bit here as well. Machine gun repositioned a bit here in the west, probably to avoid any sort of immediate mortar bombardments from him. And there you go, in fact, that's exactly what's happening. But it's worth noting, he doesn't have anything to like immediately follow up on it, so like even this, like say, you know, his opponent's machine gun was there, it would just reposition and then still be ready for whatever follows up in the wake of the Hay mortars to fire there. So less great coordination, I think, that makes Expense Runner Panther dealing with things here. In the east, we got the Pumas full screen of these here. Bit of skirmish, and there you go. Brandhand Grenade forcing the Pumas to get close. There you go. Satchel charge in return. T-film up support here. Cover shattered. Raketen coming up against an advancing tank. Very good. Mines being laid under cover against German counterattacks. Also very nice. Got the Pumas going for deep flank. Well, that's a definite good move there by Expense Runner, making use of the train opening up for that. And East Team got the folks about to get wiped out by Expense Runner's T-34. Does he get the kill? Does he get it? No, the Panther 4 gets the kill, apparently. Almost looked like it, at least, but I guess the T-34 got it. Just looked like the Panther 4 got it. And there you go, machine route. But at the same time, we got a Vantage Assault going in here, taking advantage of Expense Runner's push towards these. There you go. Still, the mines pay off beautifully here for him, saving him from being flanked in time. We got the center pushing up. There's one need to get the tank over there, disconnecting with the other Sturmpanzer squad here. A furious attack here by Tiramisu's men being extolled to greater virtues for the fatherland. Hay mortar there, under heavy fire. Got the fight pushing ahead. They need to get the T-34 in there. Mortar firing down the machine gun. Decent hit that almost got the Western victory point, but he's also in the center one. And these one here to the Germans once more. Raketen pushing in there. H-5 on the way. 4 Expense Runner to help deal with Tiramisu's armor. Tiramisu's not far off from another Panther 4, and the Fox Grenadiers are holding up the line, but their cover's giving away, crumbling. Panther 4 Puma to deal with the Pumas of the flank. The MD-34 there could see it destroyed. Oh dear, they're getting close enough for Panther 5. That's a definite problem here for Expense Runner. Puma, though, Pops a shot and then disengages as well under cover of smoke. Grab the center victory point. Western one secure, moving for the western fuel point. Very good there. H5 is ready here for expansion runner and the German army. Seizing the center victory point here. Eastern victory held by the Kednaffer. Great hit there from the Arlington tank and on the Panther Force flank. There goes H5, gets a good hit. They're punching through the armor with ease. It's 85mm armored piercing rounds, making short work there. The German steel armor, or front hardened armor. T-54 being repaired. Sees the center, sees the east. Very good. More mines from expansion runner would also be a very good idea here. So there you go. Tiramisu is finally pushed back in a more decisive engagements. Now it's time for expansion runner to prepare himself for the inevitable counterattack from the German army. Fun fact, the German overall army doctrine was actually very aggressive, and the defensive was always considered a temporary measure. You should always try to attack, and any defense should also be always considered again aggressive means. So, you know, little fun fact in terms of, like, let's say, German army doctrine. Fast makes him we got Panther 4 almost done there for Tiramisu. There's going to be 2 Panther Force. We've got the Puma up in the deep flank. Very good. Perhaps realizing that with the H-5 out, head-on assaults is going to be a lot less successful. Prepares for something a bit more enveloping. But we got the H-5 reacting here. Shoots and gets good in the Puma. Shoots before the center. Got Haymorton nearby. First shot, though, misses the mark a bit. Needs to get machine guns on that one. Or the tanks. T-34 begins to open on the Volkskandiers, getting a quick kill there. We got veterans 1, 7 kills on the T-34 from 6. Akenov moves in. Haymorton repositioning just a bit again. Finally, so the Panther going for the eastern victory point. And also the other Panther going for the western victory point. How will expansion runner deal with this? He's being attacked on every point. He can't easily defend them. So right now, of course, the trick for expansion runner is going to set up like a way to defend at least 2 other points at all times. But that is himself to extend it. In this case, I think he got a bit too greedy, perhaps. So for wedge, yes, 2 points will probably go for the center and the western ones. It's much easier to keep connected between the 2 west with the center and the eastern point. There's much more bocage for trees in the way that makes it much harder to form up a coherent defense. So I think you should focus that way instead. Obviously, the fuel is in the east as well, so there's obviously more of a natural desire to go for the east, but center east. There you go. Machine cleared up, definitely a problem there. Panther 4 pushed back with the H-5 tank. So we got the Eastern Panther moving up here again. Big goods to the train. Probing attacks here on expansion runner. Constantly looking to harass them from sides where expansion runner is not ready for it. Good use of the train here by Tiramisu and good use of the map. Hey, more to continue to fire down there. We got 1 kill, close to it 1. Get a kill there. Very good, very good. T-5 going for the troops here. Rescuing Panther fast with the Volkskandiers. Except it doesn't happen. We got another Disca here for expansion runner. He's really relying on a lot of them. I still can't help but wonder he may not need, like, you know, another anti-tank under the very least, or maybe, I don't know, a heavy mortar more. 14 kills, 22 there on the T-54 from 6. Orbis on here for Tiramisu and the German army. Eastern victory point makes as well. That he's quickly losing control of every victory point once more. Volkskandiers is routed. T-54 continues its onslaught, tearing apart fascist troops, and there you go. Good chance of getting wiped if he's not careful. Low health already. He got too close, going to get Panther fasted. Damaged engine. And mobility is bliat. That is definitely not something you want to hear about if you're a tank commander. Back here, troops reinforcing healing for expansion runner. Got the push here. We got Disco moving forward under 5 from the Panther on the fourth. Going to do nearby. Close to veterans 1 on that one. H5 gets in a great hit there by expansion runner. He's still stuck. Oh, we got the Puma flanking. They're going for the T-54. It's another great flank here by Tiramisu. Anti-tank opening up. They're veteran free. They're good, ready to fire and all that, but not enough to finish off the Puma here. H5 narrowly misses the Puma, who quickly just dodges back into safety there. Expansion runner situation is very precarious now. He may have to hope he can basically bait them into an anti-tank overwatch. Victory points wise, it's also looking pretty glum. Sturmpani is routed. Ignis versus Volkskandiers. Got the Pumas coming up there, close to the east on those chaps. Getting some good hits. Pan from the eastern side. Veterans 1, 14 kills. In the center, got the Pumas of his name. You've had 4 full swing up, so backed up like Kednev. Another machine gun. More Kednevs as well there. Need to get the Haymotor there. Singing on that one. Veterans 1 they gained. I think they should probably where he begins barraging. Might have a chance of hitting some of the other units nearby. Going for the eastern or western one as well. We've got the Panther 4 already inbound to deal with that. Disca needs to in trouble. In fact, both Discus are struggling with the Panther 4. Need to get the tank destroyer in there or some more anti-tank guns. Disca doesn't need access to both. To then for anything else. West side here, Panther 4 dealing there with the Pumas descending to. A Mortifier there is not quite getting much done, but it's actually getting a kill there at least. We got 54 versus 4 and 54. Not looking inspiring here for Spencer running. Not looking inspiring at all. Tiramisu laying down the law of the fatherland here upon Expense Runner. And he certainly seems to have lost most of initiative here, most of the momentum. Decent hit on the MD-34. Right on the west of the Pumas was caught almost being annihilated beneath the mighty treads of the Panzerkampfwagen 4 as from Yacht. One man frantically running, hoping to survive, but there may be no survival here in the face of the Panther 1. There you go, taught by the yacht. Mortifier there. 6 kills on it now. That's a definite improvement there for Expansion Runner. He's got 40 versus the 454 there. He needs to build up an armored force, and again, he somehow needs to like see if he can't get Tiramisu to like, you know, bunch up his vehicles now, in which case he can hit them with an anti-tank. Oh, watch. That might actually be his best bet here, but so far Tiramisu actually made good use of the train and his armor together, making it much harder for Expansion Runner to exactly do that, addition to destroy them. So I mean, thumbs up there to Tiramisu so far. Really good armor handling here on the map. Ace anti-tank defending alongside a disc machine gun. H5 shoots, misses the Panther 4 there. Pushing these aside, tank up there with Pumas as well. They could get off an anti-tank salvage charge, take them a chance to take out the Panther 4. We do get the combat blitz, but that may be not enough. We've got anti-tank. Oh, watch. So in this case, it is missed time, so most of the shots will actually not hit. The Panther 4 gets out of the arc of fire there of it, which of course is quite unfortunate for them. Oh, apparently it's actually just within range. Huh. Bit hard to tell here. So he actually does get the Panther 4. Pretty good there for Expenser Runner. One Panther 4 down. Other one there, half health. H5 getting my T2. We got the centric proxies as well, but the machine got cleared out. The situation though is looking slightly better here for Expenser Runner versus Tiramisu, though it is still overall looking very rough. We got another Panther 4 there for Tiramisu, replaced the one taken out here by the Soviets. H5 shoots, misses the Puma. Another T-34 there for Expensive Runner in the Red Army. The 3rd Mechanized Corps. Haymotor can to blast away there. 5-6 moving up there. Even got to push around here, and something got me on fire there. And there you go, Haymotor disco routed. Situation seems to be further collapsing after Expensive Runner in the face of Tiramisu's aggressive rage and attacks his deep flanks. There we go, fresh Panther 4 right here for Tiramisu. Reinforcing healing. Fighting around him with the discount engineers under unrelenting and scathing firepower there. So right now, Expense Runner's lost most of the map by now. Here to Tiramisu. He's got 33 points left for his opponent, 438. T-Fed 476 setting out here. Machine gun under fire there. Close getting wiped out already. Puma connecting a bit of trouble here, but there's 2 Mechanics nearby as well. Oh, T-Fed misses. H5 does not, but he gets panzer severely. Mine goes off there. Almost got the H5 there. Almost got it, but I think it's going to get away then unless it gets lucky shot through. He does finally get the Puma destroyed. Took him quite some time there, but he finally gets it, but meanwhile here in the East, Panther 4 going for a flank, gets the anti-tank deck, takes a lot of damage, could actually risk losing the Panther 4 here to the anti-tank gun. The ace level anti-tank there is doing a lot of damage here to the Panther 4. Quite mobile and of course quite rapid rate of fire. Shot bounced. Santa got a push here from Expense Run again. We got the Panzer IV nearby and the troops as well there. Got the Panzer IV. Holy damn, that's impressive there from Expense Runner. He is fighting like a warrior. But even then, he is getting outsolded here by Tiramisu. It seems Panzer IV, they've actually 225 kills to get the HQ5 to deal with that, except the HQ5 is nowhere near to be seen. We got a few pums being rushed in there. With more engineers on the left for Expense Runner, but the machine got cleared out. Expense Runner's forces are being depleted at an increasingly rapid pace. Pums are back here wiped down. We got air support called in, and that's going to force retreat. Such utter brutality here. Eastern side being held up to Expense Runner. Air support raining down death from above. And the Panzer IV blitzes forwards. Going for the HQ5 here, sensing an opportunity to maybe finish the fight here and break Expense Runner's back. But clearly that didn't quite pan out there for Tiramisu. We got 14 versus 438. Hey, more to their close eventually 2 HQ5 gets good hit. They almost got the Panzer IV gun. Ace level HQ5 here. Almost got it. So close yet so far. He needs to go for the Western Victor Point. We got an engineer squad being dispatched towards the Western Victor Point. H5, the main gun out. And it is out. And with that, Expense Runner is out of the war there. GG, game over. An interesting fight with a lot of great maneuvering here from Tiramisu. I think that's one of the defining highlights of this match, and I think one of the reasons why he won. Meanwhile, Expense Runner, I feel like just got too static. He focused too much on this particular strap of map. And he never really tried to outmaneuver, but Tiramisu didn't try to surprise him or get anything, he just kept going straight ahead. Also, feel like, he probably should at least committed to one more anti-tank to help deal with Tiramisu's light vehicles rather than all these heavy machine guns. Didn't quite have the impact he had hoped for, though that's not to say the disc is bad, but I just think in this current circumstances, the way he used them as well, I don't think they were quite what we were looking for in the end. And I think that's some help contributed there to Expense Runner's loss. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell friends, tell family, but don't show to enemy. This is Imperial Links and cheers. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.